Okay, it's me again. New lesson. We got lesson 8. I wanted to dive deeper into lowering the heart rate. Um, Lowering the heart rate consists of a whole lot of things, but the ultimate goal is to add more oxygen to the brain. So the process of lowering the heart rate takes the oxygen from the rest of the muscles. So that means relaxing. In the process of relaxing, you need to multitask. Multitasking the brain and not the body anymore. Using more of a collective of senses. Twos and threes are power numbers. So using the senses in twos and threes, multitasking one at a time with the twos and threes allows for different things. So sight and hearing, and then smell and taste and feel, or sight, hear, and feel, or taste and smell. So like kind of mixing them up a little bit using different strategies in the process of lowering the heart rate. The oxygen that you send into the brain allows for the brain to consume more oxygen over time. So more power from more oxygen. So more power, or more oxygen, more power. Okay, so if you think about a spaceship, okay, just an analogy. With the spaceship, what you can actually do is, if you only have so much energy, say you're at a 15% energy level, you can only access or use specific tools within the machinery because of the specific level. So if the level of energy is higher by adding more oxygen over time, right? If the level of energy or oxygen gets higher that you can add to the brain, it allows for the brain to do more. But see, even with that process, the body has to indulge in less things and less of certain things and more of other things. And in order for the body to actually over time be able to withstand or hold the amount of oxygen that you send into the brain, which would use more energy and take more protein, but certain proteins, not other proteins, because certain proteins in the mixture of doing that deteriorates the body. Specific mixtures of doing specific stuff without the regimen deteriorates the body. So if you only have 15% oxygen level, there's only certain things that you can use. Okay, so we got sight, we got taste, we got smell, we got hearing, we got feel, right, or touch. So if your oxygen level rises in the brain to a higher level, right, as you add more oxygen to the brain over time using these specific techniques, then you can use more of your senses that the body naturally has as a protective layer with the skin and everything. You can use more of the body's capacity to have power in the brain and allow it to, it gain access or more control over what the body's capabilities are. So we're in lesson 8. This is the glasses. We're going to be in here for a little while. Money sign extra99 is the cash app. The apple was the medicine. Okay, the meat, what they indulged in, the apple came after that as the medicine. Is actually a way the cyanide in the seed produces the tree, which eventually produces a seed, a fruit, which is an apple. But the small amount of cyanide in the apple, which ripens and becomes something productive to the body, allows for, even and it's in a lot of other fruits and vegetables and grains. It allows for the body to get rid of the excess dead meat, less water. There's a process of lowering the water content to make the amino acids stronger. That way it breaks down the food more faster and gets it out of the body more productively. There's a few other things, but the apple is definitely the medicine that allows the dead meat to leave the body. The dead meat in the body, what we went over before, allows for the body to be reactive to cold, because we know when the life's breath leaves the body, or any mammal or living thing, the body actually is attractive to cold energy. So we know the body gets cold once the life's breath leave it, or as the life's breath is leaving it. And then we put it in the freezer, knowing energy is neither lost nor destroyed, merely transferred from one party to the next. The freezer, and then indulging in it, and that those particles are neither lost nor destroyed. Energy is neither lost nor destroyed. So you can't you can't fight the fact that indulging in that leaves the body reactive to cold weather. So you know, to my extent, you take it with a grain of salt. Back in Adam and Eve time, because they indulged in dead meat, which changed the anatomy. Some people who had wings, they were black. Some people who had wings, but once they start eating the dead meat, the body has to change in order to indulge in the dead meat. If it's never done it before, it's an anatomy change. The teeth sharpen, you get fangs, and the teeth have to be a specific way in order for you to indulge in it. And then if you're stronger and you got a specific body anatomy type, it would actually give you, or change the anatomy. And back then, when the spirit was closer, to give you horns and different things like that because of what you was indulging in, which would have been lamb, or any specific things like that. Over time, you would gain a thirst or feast or for that. But the gain of the thirst came from indulging in dead meat at first, or something that was living but dead, and then there's a process. But different things like that started. Sin is death, death is sin, death is dead, die. It's all those going together. And then people say there's no other gods. We went over this too. One of the commandments is thou shalt not put no other gods before him. That's God acknowledging that there's other gods. That's God saying he first. And that's also saying that, there's an order. That's also saying that God has a respect for them because he mentioned them, and he didn't mention them by name, but he, giving you, notice that there are other gods. But we worked on a lot of that stuff, but we're in lesson 8 in this video at 8:11. Thank y'all. Subscribe.